Hello everyone, Fangs of Fire here. Welcome to another tournament match. As you can see, since Strider hasn't fired it up yet, we are watching MisterGreen, my teammate from the Sunny Specialists, against Strider656, Pete's Wizard's teammate from the Helm's Deep Dish. Right. Oh. There's why, well, hello there, Snuff, Wormtown. If either of you want to join me for a co-commentary, feel free to do so. I'm currently in the voice channel 3 if you want to join me. And let me see if I can get them in here. As the stream is always better with at least one co-com. For co-com. I don't think Snuff will be able to, but as that's why he's not the one streaming this, but Wormtalent might. In any event, so MisterGreen has opted for the Pete's Wizard start. While we wait for Strider is pondering his hand, thinking over where to begin. Strider and I have played a lot, so if I were to make a guess here and now, it'll, like, generally he does like to do things over in the east and also northern Germany. Those are the two primary areas that I tend to see from him. Alright, the week 1 supply train begins. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so me got a steak. What was that? Okay. Alright. Okay. So apparently neither of them can join me. A bit unfortunate. So we got a steak for first item, but I'm obviously, as Mr. Green's teammate, I am hoping that he wins, especially after I fail to defeat Pete's Wizard. But Strider is while he is definitely a good player and at this point a well-seasoned player. He's been part of the community for only slightly less than I have. Like, and by slightly, I'm talking about like a matter of like 1 or 2 weeks. Lots of Drac events to begin with. So if there's an early hoax, that could be nasty. The other, as Mr. Green, I mean, while Strider is by no means, as I was saying earlier, Strider has been part of the community for about 2 years. He is not as strong a player as Pete's Wizard, which is probably why they decided that he would do Dracula play. Mr. Green, well, he's been part of the community for a good deal longer than either of us. Either Strider or myself. Possibly Pete's Wizard as well. Don't know. don't know for sure, but okay, so he's laying down one encounter, then Dark Calling. Interesting. So, yeah, that did not get him a Dracula event. Interesting. Lol. So, let's... yeah, some good banter going on in the chat there. I'm not sure that I fully approve of doing Dark Call that early. Okay, what does Mia discard? Holy Circle? Okay, that's not that remarkable. I mean, and it implies that she has relatively good items, but there are quite a few things that are better than Holy Circle, at least in my opinion. Yep, MG just searching around for yonder white ones to help his horses. Let's see. So, wherever this is. So, for the hunters, what they will be hoping, and what I am hoping, because obviously as Mr. Green's teammate, I want him to win. Get us to win this round. Which would help us keep up in the grand scheme of things. So, yeah, we want anyone MG and A1 rooting for him will want him to draw a newspaper tomorrow. And there's at least one hunter event. So, I am guessing that what he's going to do next is hide card. Lay down something or another. Because with 10 cards, the probability of him having Fog, Bath, Saboteur is very high. So, I would at a guess he'll do hide card next to help protect what is apparently a rumored vamp, or at least so he claims. Come on, where's that newspaper? Right, crucifix. Okay, will it be Mina who draws it? Discarding a rifle. Okay, scouts. That's probably one of the next best things. He can now check some of the extremity locations like Varna, Athens, etc. Athens. Okay, it's always Athens. Well, well, well. Yes, Wormtalon, I said that already. Yeah, that is true, because MG does need to consider how, like, does he try to force an early fight? Because Dracula did take 2 damage doing Dark Call. Which, for any who aren't familiar, typically Dark Call is nothing but to take 2 damage, draw 5 encounters, and is pretty, by general consensus, ruled to be pretty bad. But with the enhanced Dark Call rule, it also draws the top card off the event deck. In this case, it was a hunter card. You see this? How this one is face down? That's because we don't know what it is. Not even Dracula knows what that is. Had it been a Dracula card, he would have drawn it. I would begin moving on Athens sometime in the next day or two, because with it being confirmed that was hide card, I that means that either be it rumored vamp or hoax, which hoax would be very nasty. Already 8 options, and likely more to come. Either would be pretty bad for the hunters. So, obviously Dracula has to move to Valona or wolf form, or go to Ionian Sea, but I sincerely doubt he'll go to the sea. That'd be just weird this early. Let's see. What is the best... What would be the best way of doing things? Since I can't see their cards, I don't know. I'm guessing that Mr. Green is gearing one or the other of them to go deal with Athens, shoving all the good gear onto one person. Most likely by now, including a horse. Now that he's like approximately halfway through the item deck. Okay, showing a pistol now. Okay, so that implies that either... So that means that Goldaming now has a stake. We now know that for sure. Okay, so he's just doing the casual move to Valona. Or, no, he's doing a wolf form. So that means that he could be at Sarajevo, he could be at Sofia, he could be at Salonika, or this could all be fake and he's at Valona. I get the feeling that it will likely be Sarajevo because that is a very likely horse destination. Okay, this looks like that Mr. Green is setting up a sense of emergency play to jump over both Sarajevo and Valona to land directly on Athens without having to worry about like bats and so on the way there. Which I can understand that, especially since it's Goldaming, who has 11 HP to start. Aggie. Well, that is a welcome sight for the hunters, I imagine. I personally, now that you know his general vicinity, I would ally. If you had not correctly guessed where he was, then I would search. But since you know the general vicinity, his current location is one of these 4 spaces. You know that for certain. I would not be surprised if Dracula will feed next. Mind you, if he does, that means that he'll have a very small trail for the hunters to work through. Okay, sorry about that. Notification from my phone. Forgot to put on Do Not Disturb. Whoopsies. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so the way I see it, he may well have done Wolfhorn to Sarajevo and then... Yep, okay. Sense of emergency play. As I thought. But the thing is that Dracula could be in Valona right now. and I wouldn't be all that surprised if that were the case. The worst thing I think in this case, even worse than fog, would be bats. But Goldaming is loaded with fully armed with 3 events. So honestly, I would not be surprised if there is a okay, new vampire. Interesting. Ambushing with that first. Intriguing. So this is only threatening 6 points. But if he gets through, he gets Dark Call, he gets High Card, and he gets Wolf Form. That's probably the Wolf. The Vampire Wipe is likely why he did the Wolf Form when he did. Okay. Yeah, so Goldaming, we know that Goldaming has a stake and therefore can handle this. Plotting. Oh. Looks as if MG will end up taking local or LG. Lord Green will take a bit more damage here than your typical vampire ambush. Yeah, really, when it comes to vampire ambushes, for anyone new who watches this, it really comes down to do they get the plotting or not. Okay, yeah, typical. If they do get the plotting, then it's only 2 damage on the hunter. If they don't get the plotting, then if they don't get the plotting, they only deal 2 to the hunter. If they do get the plotting, as was the case this time, it typically will end up being 4. Fortunately, even okay, well that doesn't make any difference in this case. Yeah, that does not make any difference in this particular case, because, and the reason why is there are 6 rounds, so now he will play Escape again, and unless he cancels it, then that's the end of the combat, and therefore he only gets 1 more hit in, which each hit does 2 damage, unless specified otherwise. And now he'll just dodge again, and since there's nothing that can hit a hunter damage-wise, that can hit when the hunter dodges, the new vampire will handle it. Goldaming won't take any more damage. And Goldaming didn't show a single item card, so he could have... I mean, the most Strider knows is that Goldaming has a stake, because Mina... Mina was showing one until they traded. So therefore Goldaming does have a stake to just stake that, prevent the 6 points, and then move on. Although it likely won't be that simple, as between the sense of emergency and the ambush he did take 6 damage. So there will be some... There may need to be some adjustments before. He may just have to sit and rest for a little bit. Which, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he does so for at least 1 day. He can heal 1 health by night after he supplies to fill in whatever the stake is. Especially if this ends up being a fog. I mean, in this case, I think he would welcome it being a fog. Whatever this is, he chose not to ambush with it, which is definitely a bit odd. I think my suspicion is that it's another vampire, and he wants Goldaming to have to commit to night fight it. Because if this ends up being another fighter vamp, then 5 health is going to be a bit tough to survive on. Okay, let's see what it ends up being. I mean, obviously he's going to choose to I mean, he's gonna get to stake it no matter what it is. Okay, Saboteur. Okay, so he chose not to ambush with that. Okay, yeah, because it doesn't matter, because even if he ambushes, he doesn't get to search it tonight, no. But he does get to stake, he doesn't get to stake it tonight, but he does get to stake it after doing a stake it tomorrow, since he got there quickly enough. So therefore the Saboteur wasn't enough. Okay, Mystic Research. Okay, 2 more Drac events. Dracula's Brides and Summon Storms. Okay. Greatest, that's now 14. That's now 4, 7. Why did I say 14? That's now 12. I wasn't actually far off. It's now 12 Drac events in the discard. I got. Not sure why I said 19 like that. I suspect that tomorrow Van Helsing will come off the island. I don't know for sure. It could be that he has a hand of just trash items. But, well. So obviously, Gul'dan will be delayed by a day, which means that he'll likely just rest tomorrow night. And then I would not be surprised to see him stay in place so that he can fill in the spot where the stake was for a new item. So far we haven't seen any horse rolls unless I missed them. No, so far all the movement has been either by rail or, well, one move and then a sense of emergency. That's all the movement we've seen so far. So the fact that they were able to deal with the first rumored vamp is definitely very good news for the hunters. But, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, that's only the first, like, thrust and parry. Like, dodge and weave, thrust and parry, as I tend to say. What's the meaning of showing there? Hypnosis. Oh. Well then, when Dracula goes on a sea voyage, they have one of the two cards that are very nice to have. That's nice. Whether they'll be properly positioned to use it is another matter when the time comes. Okay, so he did feed, which means that he has a trail of 3 encounter cards, which are just a little bit here and there. At this point, I will be very surprised if MG does not have some horses around. What got discarded? A pistol? Alright. Chartered carriage. So that takes him up to Mina. Not the best chartered carriage in the world, but it's good nonetheless. Huh. Do you just... Okay, I would just supply and then scan, see if he is in Austro-Hungaria. We know that we know that this place is not Zagreb because until Gul'dan was standing at Zagreb when he moved here. So therefore we know that this is not Zagreb. This could be. Well, actually no, it can't. Unless it's wolf form to Sofia, then Sarajevo, then Zagreb. So yeah. So yeah, once again gearing up another hunter via what Mina's found. By the looks of things. Will Dracula Dark Call again? This time he'll get a Drac event, but how good will it be? With so many Drac events out of the way. Okay. So now do you... Okay, so he's still in Baltica. Because we know, since this place can't be Zagreb, that means that this place cannot be Munich. Okay, so he is Dark Calling. This time he gets a Drac event out of it. That's going to hurt. Stake, Knife, Crucifix, and Hypnosis. Since there's no horse, yeah, he's taking out the Hypnosis. Okay, well at least on the plus side, while that was definitely annoying, and Hypnosis is definitely a very nice card to have, at least it was a play immediately, so you don't have to like worry about things like Seduction, Enraged, and other things like that, Devilish Power. Basically, at least you know precisely what he got right here and now. That's the good news. Okay. Okay, Evil Presence. Not, well, we kind of knew that already. Since they scanned when he was still at this place. So, I suppose there was a world where he did wolf form to Sarajevo, then go back to Sofia, then go to Valona. That was, in theory, possible, but... I would, at a guess, he is just having trouble hunting down the last white one. That's why we haven't seen a horse movement yet. At least that's my guess. Otherwise, I assume that he would be... Great strength. Oh, nice one. Okay, so... MisterGreen does need to get a move on sometime soon, because what with, let me see, this is now 6, that's now 6, 9, another 5 is 14 Drac events, including Storms, Brides, and Vampiric Influence, which are definitely some pretty strong ones. Storms being like the third to best one by general opinion. He does have to start worrying about hoaxes and such. He has to find the wolf form location. So where is the wolf form to? That's the question. Oh, looks as if he may have found it. Either that or he has just come to the conclusion that he just has to risk it. Oh, it was not Sofia. Well, that means that it was not Salonika either. Unless, well, no, because we know that that is a place in Baltica. So he went Sarajevo, Belgrade. Well, I suppose it could be Sarajevo. Well, no, now that he's moved again. Oh, but that was precisely when the hide card slid off. So he could be hiding at Salonika, or he could just be up here. Probably now in Black Sea Coast, if that's the case. Another hired scouts would definitely be nice. Which, since there's still 3 of them, it's not all that unlikely. As for start a rifle and get some event that we don't know of. So Seward is doubtless going to search this. He can't risk a hoax maturing. Meanwhile, Goldaming's health keeps creeping back up. Bats, okay. Yeah, he put that there to try to delay them getting to Athens, but since he had seen some emergency, that didn't work. So that was definitely well played to Mr. Green for his approach to getting to Athens. Well done. Yeah. I imagine that Dracula, he likely won't go to sea right now because with Seward under Bat's influence, he won't be a threat for another day. So he has a lair at Athens. He's about to make a lair out of Sarajevo. So Dracula may wolf form again. But I think that this time he may well save it. And since we know that he is in Baltica, or either that or the very easternmost part of Austro-Hungaria, we know that he's either down here, and at this point specifically Salonika, or he's up here. So wolf form really doesn't get you much, especially since you know Goldaming has a horse, and therefore can catch up pretty easily. And well, Mina may well have a horse too, although the fact that it's possible that the horses were buried very deep. So let me see, all the pistols are gone, all the bullets are gone. There's still 1 dog's left. That'd be interesting to see. Alright. Went to sea. Newspaper. Oh, ho ho. So, it was a Salonika hide. Yeah. That tells him... So that acts as something of a money trail in a certain sense that now that he knows which port he left from, he knows which sea he is starting at. So... I think that he will likely just send Goldaming to Salonika once more so that he can get there in time so that a saboteur won't matter. A bats this time. I think that would be worth a forewarned if he has it. Will he move Seward to Valona? Nobody's moving him to Sofia. Well, that's really not the worst thing. So... But here's the problem. But here's the problem this card will get to mature. But Salonica, however, is still vulnerable. Not to Goldaming, but this time to Seward. If you were really trying to get Salonica to mature, I would have pushed Seward back towards Zagreb. And yes, that means that he's better positioned for the sea voyage, for dealing with the sea voyage, but this means that Seward will be undelayed by night, as he has already, and that means that he can go to deal with Salonica, and if he saw fit to hide, I mean, it's possible that he did that simply to stay on land a little bit longer, burn a bit more time, and so on, but yeah, so they've gone through the entire deck. So at this point we know that they have all the heavenly hosts and all the horses. Oh, there are, let me see, how many rifles is that? 1, 2, 3. There's only one rifle in play. So there's only one firearm in play throughout all 4 hunters, because all the pistols were discarded. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, there's definitely that's definitely spooky for Dracula, because at this point you know that their collective resources between all of them, item wise, are, and the fact that, let me see, there's also no stake discarded other than the one that was used to stake the vampire. So you know that they have 3 stakes, you know that they have 3 heavenly hosts, you know that they have 3 horses, and that makes up that's clever. That means that the Salonica thing will get to mature after all. Okay, so that was definitely actually well played by Strider. Well done. So, So, as Dracula, do you go Adriatic or do you go Black, Adriatic, or Tyrrhenian Sea? Black Sea almost never happens, because especially since you know that they have all three heavenly hosts. Whether or not they're on the right people is another matter. Is another question that you just have to ask. But so the question is, what is that Salonica? I would say, I would guess, due to him placing a fog. The fog could have been for the vampire, to protect the vampire, but actually, by the time he had moved to Valona, Goldaming had already positioned as if he were going to send some emergency. So from that he could have guessed that he had it. Okay, scouts. That's a very awkwardly timed scouts. So if Mina has a horse, it's definitely time to start moving, in my opinion. Go block off Munich, perhaps. This is interesting. Where are the horses? We know that Goldaming has one of them. We know that. Is it possible that he has more than one? In which case he will actually be very happy to be here with Seward. So, likely Goldaming will heal 2, thanks to being with Seward. Then Seward will trade. Oh. I suppose he does have... Okay, that was not the night supply he was hoping for. Right, he's taking advantage of Mystic Research right now, just in case that's a hoax, because... yeah, he's taking the remainder of his night supplies now. Try to pick up Renewed Vigor, CG, whatever. Discarding blood transfusion, no real supplies. Oh, there's the last rifle. Oh, another scouts? Okay, that's now 2 scouts that were wasted. That is very sad for the hunters. So there's now only 1 scouts left. I mean, mind you, there's still both Harker and Rufus that could be pop up, and it was indeed a hoax. This is not good. That's 15 different options he has, and we know that there's Vampiric Influence, Dracula's Brides, Summon Storms. And mind you, if he picks one of those, we will know, because they were face up here, so we will know if that's the case or not, whether that's the case or not. On the other hand, I mean, due to all this delay and such, delay and wanting for healing, so definitely good on MG to realize the threat of the hoax, messing up his mystic research, and therefore taking advantage of his remaining night supplies while he could. Because this hoax is going to shuffle back 14 cards. So, but the thing is, even with this hoax, it's really not the worst. I mean, the hunters are still in a pretty reasonable position. Because look at the trail. There's nothing for them to deal with. They put sufficient pressure on Drac that he had to go to sea. Went with that could be rough. Only 1, but let's see what stuff that. So he only got 1, but excellent weather. Rufus, the last scouts. Excellent. A newspaper. That's actually not the worst stuff to lose. Rufus can get surprising returns still. The fact that he didn't draw him doesn't change that fact. The last scouts, that's annoying. The worst casualty there is the excellent weather. There's only 1. Yeah, so that's actually not really that bad. So Emmanuel Hideshim was really not the worst there, especially since he only got 1, and he discarded things that you wouldn't especially want anyway. Oh, yes. He does have Aggie to help him confront him. So, if Mina has a chartered carriage, which there are... so that's where... so if Mina has a chartered carriage, and what's more, in addition to Agu, we know that they have great strength, so this could definitely hurt Drac. He's down to 10 health at present. Yeah. Let me see. Would Sensible Emergency do it as well? If Renewed Vigor were in play, then yes, it would. But no, not in this case. Mr. Green really just has to count his blessings. Since when was Escape Route burned? Oh, I suppose that was the discard from. There's a charred carriage. So 2v1 with Aggie. Unfortunately, Mia is showing a stake. So, and plus he peeked at her hand anyway, so he knows that she has a knife and a crucifix for other items, unless she discarded the crucifix. Don't recall for sure, but with Aggie to help them, this could be massive. And Dracula does have wolf form, but on the other hand, what if they have CG? They could just force him into Florence and then just pounce on him again. So, okay. What we got? Strength, and he did dodge. Good. That's good for the hunters. Mina, I'm not sure what she'll have done. Punch? Oh, Heavenly Host. Whoa, that was daring. But, and then again, with Aggie in play, Aggie is a good deterrent for stopping them from fanging. So that's already a good start for the hunters. And with Aggie, Fangs won't heal him. So, yeah. This is... Yeah, Dracula is in a tight spot. Mind you, so if I were playing Hunters right now, I would punch with Mina so as to save the knife for her next round when he could try to escape his bat. Likewise with Van Helsing's rifle. Okay, yeah, punching. Okay, so Van Helsing takes a bit of damage. Aggie, however, says no healing for you. And now, yep, dealing damage. And now what they're likely going to do is just knife plus rifle. And the thing is that since Van Helsing's the one that has the rifle, you can't claw him down. Not to mention the fact that they have great strength. So even if even if her swapped and Mina had the knife, I'm gonna guess that this is going to be a mesmerize. Oh, escape is missed? Alright, sure. With Aggie in play, that is not a big deal. So, yeah, well done, Aggie. You did your job. So, this is very bad news for Dracula. Which, of course, as MisterGreen's teammate, I am happy to see that. It is a shame that Mia's Heavenly Host got burnt, but that's just how things go sometimes. So, if you have CG, now is definitely the time to play it. I mean, he might have gotten a devilish power off of that Emmanuel Hildesheen, but that is less likely. That yeah, and if Dracula had taken one more point of damage, it would be even worse for him because that would mean he couldn't wolf form. So yeah, okay, yeah, he's thinking carefully about what to do with everyone. Especially now that he has Drac, even a 1v1 now with Aggie in play at this stage. Even if he gets the wolf form away, a 1v1 should be enough since they have great strength. Oh, there's the CG. So I would place the CG token here in Genoa. Oh, that was actually one of the last spots I would choose for the real token, because if he has devilish power, that's so he doesn't mind if he stays in Genoa. Okay. Yeah, Van Helsing rests. Alright. I mean, so far we have only seen one fog card. So if he goes to Florence, he may be able to stall, at least for a little bit, with a fog. Or possibly Wolf Form to Rome, so that he can put it on a coastal place that he'll have the time to feed before the fog goes away. Okay, so he did not have devilish power, otherwise I think he would have used it. Oh, roadblock. Oh, okay, so that means that he can just keep the hunters off him for it. Oh, good luck for the win. Good luck for the win. If any of the hunters have a good luck card, which we haven't seen a single one discarded yet. Oh, what? No, we've seen one. So, but I think there's two, at least two, maybe even three of those. Okay, well that's a tad risky, because you are now saying you don't have horses. He has left one path. He has left one path open. Because if either of them have a horse, they can do a wolf form road to Venice. Let me zoom in for you so that you can. Okay, let's go to Van Helsing. You see how he's blocked the rail line and the road? What he has not, both to Florence. What he has not blocked is Venice, so they can go to Venice and then into Florence. I would have placed the third roadblock at here, if I were playing that. Oops. There we go. Yeah, if you have renewed vigor, I would say play it. All the more so Speedy Telegraph, because then whoever has good luck can just play it. And the thing is, it doesn't even take up your turn playing good luck. That's one thing that's rather special about that card. Because the thing is that good luck, since there's one of the discard I can show you, for people who don't know it. Where are you? Where are you? Ah. You get to do one of the following: either remove a roadblock, discard Dracula's current ally, or cancel a false tip event card. All of these. This is like a tech card, as you might say, for specifically anti-Dracula type things. And that's why it doesn't take an action, because most of the time, if there are no Drac events, there will never be a Drac ally. The only way that there can be a roadblock without a Drac event is through the Saboteur maturing, which is unlikely, and if he doesn't get a Drac event, there will never be a false tip, and that's why it's rated to be pretty low. Okay. Okay. So he has a lair at Sarajevo, which, well, let's see what's in it, because Mr. Green seems to have forgotten the fact. Whoops. Huh. Another thought occurs to me. What if... Oh, just gonna show in his hand. So Goldong does have a forewarned, like I had suspected. Okay, Seward has a horse too. But the question is, where's the third horse? Does Van Helsing have it? Or does Mina have it? Or is Seward holding on to two horses? Simply because it fell that way. Simply because the cards fell that way. Okay, so I think Van Helsing is gearing up Mina because she has more HP. To do this. Okay, yeah, that was an event trade. Sense of emergency. Okay. So that means that you can go... Oh, but... Oh, the thing is that Drac could have actually been it. Okay. Alright. So this could easily be GG, especially if that was... Since that was an event trade and not an item trade, that could have easily been a heroic leap trade. That is actually my guess. Okay, it would appear that the vampire didn't have a mesmerize, otherwise it likely would have started with that, knowing that since Strider at least should have known that that Mina doesn't have a heavenly host, since that was an event trade. Okay, mesmerize. Up. Okay. Typical ambush. Okay, plotting. Okay, he gets off of plotting, so he'll actually get to take Mina down to 3 health. I mean, the good news, of course, is that Mina is showing a great strength item events card, so she can survive 1 claw attack. And well, of course, when you do claws as Dracula, when you do claws as Dracula, you aren't blocking anything. Whatever the hunter, so long as the hunter survives the claw attack, they're good, and they can do whatever their card says. Strength, and yeah, yep. Typical stuff. So now Mia will just escape, or rather dodge, rather. Yeah. Plotting again? At this point, that hardly matters. I suppose it still gives him the plotting effect, sure. So he gets to choose what sort of card. Probably a claws card, I'd guess. Yeah, he's played both. Well, I suppose really any offensive card, but I suppose he'd do claws just to be... Yeah, strength is actually the best bet, now that I think about it. Okay, but that's combat over. If this was a heroic leap trade, then it's just game over, period. And that'll be a full 15-point win for Mr. Green, which, of course, I would definitely like that. But, okay. Here we go. Heroic leap? No? Oh boy. This could be bad. But of course, if he does claws, So Mina has a knife to do this with. So he has to outget. So what Strider has to do to survive this, and and potentially kill Mina, is guess when will the knife come, and then strength or mesmerize then. Yeah, I'm not sure if this was the best move. If you didn't have any combat events cards, like a planned ambush would have done the job just fine. And the good news for the hunters is that Drac cannot go to sea until he feeds first. Mez, okay. He did the dodge, okay. So now Claws and Fangs are now equally threatening in terms of getting Mina out of the in terms of having to trigger to Great Strength. Fangs is actually a little more so, because with Great Strength it wouldn't knock Mina out of the combat, but it would discard the card, obviously. Okay. Strength. Knife. Oh dear. This. Okay. Yeah. I think that MisterGreen may have made a bad mistake here. Mind you, until he still has to do a feed card, and with Seward only 3 spaces away, if the hunters have a renewed vigor, they can engage him 2v1 tomorrow, and that will even with a feed card, that will like almost certainly be GG. So what's the play? Do you want to risk the claws, or do you go for something else? Going with plotting, and guessed correctly. So now that Mina has no combat items, and Dracula knows this, he can just pick up out of claws, and even with great strength, that won't be enough. So now, which means obviously that this means obviously that he will almost certainly not use the great strength. Well, I suppose he kind of has to, because Mia's the one carrying the event, unless that has changed. Yeah, this is definitely a bit of an awkward situation for MisterGreen. Yeah, so now MG can do great strength. Yeah, Strider is definitely very good at combat. And the thing is, he still has the plotting. He canceled the punch via the strength, not anything else. So it doesn't matter. Oh, actually, it does, because well, no, it's still okay. Aggie fortunately keeps him in check in this, but now that gets him 4 influence, so that's bad for MG. I wonder, does Van Helsing have the second excellent weather? If so, he could excellent weather to Rome. Yeah, that was, in my opinion, just a mistake, MG. if you didn't have any, yeah, Strider's pointing out that he's not doing well. The hunters, I think, have this for more or less in the bag, so long as they don't throw it away. I mean, they are definitely in a very strong position, for sure. 1, 2. Yeah, I mean, 23 of those cards are, and the thing is, the chances are high that they have a renewed vigor. 23 of these 39 cards are Dracula events. So, or yeah, 23 of them. So that means that for all, so that means there's only 16 hunter events left in the game. And since it wasn't cancelled out by Animal Hill Stream, and we know that Gul'daming had a forewarned. I didn't see the other ones closely. Yeah, that will be either Venice, or what I think more likely, Rome. The other card she discarded was a forewarned. Ooh, that hurts. Okay. Dracula has to feed at some point. Case. Otherwise, he just dies. I suppose I would possibly move Van Helsing to Venice so as to be able to heal double. So that's both but that's the second sense of emergency, so that's no longer a thing. And there's only one chartered carriage left. CG is no longer a threat, so yes, that's actually a pretty neat way of doing it. So now Mina will need to stay in the hospital, otherwise she'll come face to face with Dracula again. Which you hardly want that. Okay, found a crucifix, which is neat. I think he'll do the road rather than the rail line to play around the last charred carriage. Yep. But Gul'daming's going to be able to advance to Florence. Seward can either go by sea or advance as far as Rome. Yeah. And about that night supply, for any who don't know, when you are in the hospital, you can supply items at night without drawing events, so therefore you don't risk giving Dracula an event. So I'm guessing that now Dracula will feed. He knows there's no sense of emergency, and the rail line is still blocked for charred carriage. So, and especially if he went to Bari first, then he would do that so that he can prepare for his voyage across the Adriatic. Oh, misdirecting Florence, making it possible that he's going back there. But the thing is, Gul'daming is going to be Gul'daming is going to be fast horsing there anyway. So that's actually pretty good for the hunters. Now they don't have to worry about the new vampire as they pass through. I think that misdirect was probably just a mistake. Gul'daming is going to move there normally enough, so why bother? Yeah, I think that regardless of whether you're in Naples or Bari, this is the time to feed. Okay, hide card, I suppose. I could, like, hide card for a fog, or like a backup vampire for that they had to fight through. I mean, yeah. So now Gul'dan will check out Florence, since he wants to go down to Italy anyway. Yeah, so that misdirect actually helps the hunters. I would have gone to see it with Seward, personally. Because what if he lands in Rome and it was a fog there? Because there is still one fog unaccounted for. So now Van Helsing can come in and check Naples. Because the only thing we know about Van Helsing's hand is that he has a rifle. I suppose we know that it's likely that he has a Heavenly Host too, but what's the third card? We don't know. Well, that's interesting. That's intriguing. Mob? Okay, well while that's going to hurt a little, the fact that Seward's there will definitely... Well, that won't really hurt me at all. Yeah, it'll hurt Seward a little bit more, but they have tonight to heal up. And, well, Seward is Seward. He heals fast. So now, Gul'dan can... Dracula kind of has to feed it now, because he needs to go to sea. But... but there's so much pressure. So he's either going to move from Naples to Bari or vice versa, or he will feed, or lay down the hide card, which I think feed or hide card are the most likely candidates. We're yet to see the second fog, which, what with those two dark halls and such, I'm not sure. Has he shuffled his deck? No, just hasn't been doing enough layers. Okay, Strider is just going to concede, it seems. I think he's gonna jump into the sea, do suicide. Oh. Yeah, he just concedes that he can't get anything more. So, GG will play both. Well, that means that this is actually very interesting. The setting specialist and the setting specialist and Helm's Deep Dish, Strider and Pizza Wizard, have broken even. The Dracula player in both cases lost, albeit with 4 IDS. So in the end, this is but in this case, So in this case, we break even. 1 win apiece, precisely even in IDS score. So, yes, well played game by MisterGreen. Good effort by Strider. Exact same IDS as me as Pete's Wizards score or versus me. Good effort, right? Good effort, right? Exact same IDS as Pete's Wizards scored versus me. So let's Strider said that he wouldn't be able to come for a post-game interview, but let's see what MG has to say. I post-game MG? Post-game MG? Yeah, Strider and I are very evenly matched, so... Let's see. Yeah, they're just chatting about certain things in the game. Let's give them a little bit of time. Oh, well. Yes. Definitely a very good game. But not all too basically this is the Eastern Star version of what very well could have happened had I done Eastern against Pizza Wizard. Okay. MG says that he'll join us in a couple minutes. So, but, well, thank you all for watching, and if you want to stick around and hear what MG has to say, then feel free to do so. Otherwise, good day to everyone, and see you next time. Goodbye. If you stuck around, then you want to hear what MG has to say. He will be here momentarily. Okay. Well, except for one thing, I think that your biggest mistake was... Yeah, I assume that this, 2 minutes is for him filling out the post-match form to report the results to the admins. So that was 3 dark calls, 2 of them doing Dracula events, although the last one was a suicide. So that was definitely an amusing way for it to end. Ah, there he is. Welcome, welcome, partner. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, good. It seems to be picking up. Good. Alright. Nonetheless, well done. You got the exact same IDS as Pete's Wizard got versus me, as I said in the chat, so we broke precise even with them. So...
both me and the Strider closed the game without checking what day it was. Do you know what day it was?
it was during week 3. I believe it was Thursday day. It was Drac Move Thursday week 3. Let me see. Days past 17. So it was before. It was before week 4.
Okay, so I will tell the day 17 to Strider then.
Yeah, it's not so much asking the day these days, but more than the week. As it's if they live till week 4, which
For sure.
which I would have had I lasted one more day versus Pete's Wizard, but whatever. That's a different game. So tell me, why did you move Mina in like that with only a knife? I think
I was a little too impatient. I should have waited.
Yeah. Another thought that came to my mind was, what if you had instead moved Seward to Seward via sea into Italy?
Yeah.
After you reach Venice.
Yeah.
Or possibly even sooner, just go to Valona, hop across.
Yeah.
He
didn't have an excellent weather, but I forgot about that one.
I mean, yeah, one got burned by the Emmanuel Hiroshima, but
he had one on him, the sword.
okay, so he had the other one. I see.
Yes.
Well, nonetheless, apart from the jumping Mina in too soon, that was definitely very masterfully done, especially with the Athens clear. That was definitely well done. I mean, there's a reason that you hunt for us. We'll see. So that's a total of 3 dark calls, only 2 of the 3 being, if you count the one that suicided him. 2 of them that drew Drac events. But one way or another. Do you have any particular thoughts on the game? Since we are still live, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, just to feed just some information. Wednesday I put him right.
What was that?
It was Wednesday I scouted his location, right?
You. I
think it was only 3
it was
from the day.
it was when newspaper would have hit immediately. I remember that distinctly. So that would have that would have been Wednesday.
Yeah.
Apparently, this has turned into less of a post-game interview rather than me helping you fill out the form.
I'm just giving the data to Strider. I will fill it out after. Since I typed it out, I will remember this well.
Well, okay. In that case, thank you for the info, and I suppose we'll close that.